Hello everyone. I just wanted to check in today, and I wanted to actually talk to you a little bit about my skincare update. I know it's been I think 3 or 4 years since I've actually uploaded anything, and I actually really miss doing these skincare videos. And I was actually quite glad to see some of the comments of my few viewers that actually told me that my skincare routines actually helped clear up their acne, and I'm really glad. Now, I can't say that it's completely cleared up my acne, and I do tend to switch my routine quite often, so I wanted to update you on what I'm doing now, and I also want to give you a little bit of background on what my acne kind of looks like. So to begin, I do want to do kind of a little disclaimer. This doesn't work for everybody. Of course, everyone's skin is very different, and mine has gone through quite a few changes. I'm now in my mid-20s, and I do believe, I think when I started YouTube, I was probably in my early 20s, I think, yes, in my early 20s, and so your skin will tend to change after a few years, or even every single season, as it does for me. So basically every single season I will switch up my skincare. I will add in things that I need, or sometimes just switch products altogether. So let's begin with maybe talking about my acne overall. So I am combination skin. No, sorry, I have combination skin, and it's generally oily, but I do have dry patches, like sometimes going down my nose, sometimes up here in this area. It's definitely under my eyes, and especially the corners, and around this area as well. And in the winter, it kind of just like spreads all over my face. So I've actually had acne since I was in grade 5. So that was when I was about 10 or 11 years old. So yeah, it did hit quite early. I also think I did go through puberty a little bit earlier than a lot of people. I had a huge growth spurt from grade 4 to grade 6, so I grew about this much, so about a head tall, and I haven't grown since. I also did start getting my period in grade 5, so yeah, I mean, acne kind of came along with it, as it still does. Now through the camera you can't necessarily see exactly what my condition is. Generally it's somewhat clear. I still do get small bumps here and there. As you can see, the ones over here, these are all scars from pimples that I've had in the past few weeks. But my acne, once I kind of extract it, it tends to heal quite fast. So it'll form a scab within the next day or so, and then it'll kind of fall off within the next 2 or 3 days. And that skin kind of stays in that color for a little bit before it kind of just blends in with the rest. And honestly, no amount of makeup really covers it for me, so I just rather it show than try and cover it up. I am wearing a little bit of foundation, but I've had it on for just about 12 hours, over 12 hours, so most of it's kind of melted off already. So now that you know a little bit about my acne, I do still suffer from it. I wanted to really go into my routine and what I do to help my acne and what I've kind of done throughout the years. So I introduced the Clarisonic Mia 2 into my routine just about 2 years ago, I do believe. And kind of before that, I did try doing some treatments. I did peels once every 2 weeks or so, sometimes once a month. And that's when I was actually off of my acne medicine, and I don't take any pills or anything like that. I'm not on birth control. I have been using benzoyl peroxide with a mix of what is that? Clindamycin. Let me look it up. So a mix of that has actually helped clear my skin really well. In grade 10, I went through this period of really just, sorry for the lighting. I went through this period of really bad acne where I just had red bumps like everywhere with little white heads at the front, on the tops of it, and it kind of spread all the way down to my neck and a bit of my chest. So at that point, my parents were kind of concerned, so they took me to the doctors, and my doctor prescribed me benzoyl peroxide and clindamycin, and I call it Benzaclin Gel, which I don't know if it's sold everywhere, but I'm from Canada originally, and it costs about, I think, anywhere from $50 to $65 or even $70 sometimes, depending on the company. And it really worked. What it does is basically sort of an antibiotic, and it also gets rid of bacteria in your skin, and it kind of stops it from growing. There aren't that many side effects. The only thing is that you do need to use a sunscreen, which, to be honest, my doctor kind of failed to tell me at the beginning, and I kind of just dealt with it because my face gradually became a little bit darker than the rest of my body, especially my neck. So aside from having to use sunscreen, sometimes my face would just get a little bit too irritated, so it would turn red a little bit easier. At the beginning, it would be a little bit itchy. So depending on your skin type, sometimes you might want to kind of space it out at the beginning before you start using it every single day. And it is one of those things where you kind of do have to use it constantly, otherwise your acne kind of just comes back like 10 times. And that's what happened to me 2.5 years ago when I tried going off of it, and that period was just very emotional for me. Since I felt very, I guess, a little bit ugly, just because I had clear skin for quite a while, and then all of a sudden it just came back, and it was tenfold, and I couldn't stand it, so I went back on it, and I've been on it again ever since. And my skin is relatively clear, but of course I still get those stubborn acne spots and those painful ones just around the time when I am getting my period every single month. So besides that, my regular skincare routine usually starts with an oil cleanser, because I do wear makeup every single day. I use the Uemura cleansing oil, and I've tried quite a few of them, almost every single one from their lines, but my favorite is still the Sublime one, the one in the orange bottle. It's a little bit more expensive than the other ones, but it's really, really good. It doesn't feel overly stripping, and it also doesn't feel overly moisturizing either, so it's just kind of perfect in between. So right after my oil cleanser, I go in with a foaming cleanser, and I like the ones that kind of just lather up in your hands. I use my Clarisonic. I will wet that, and I'll put kind of like a dollop of cleanser on it, and then I'll just work it into my face for about a minute. And I like to use deep pore cleansers just because my pores get clogged really, really easily, and there's so much pollution here in Korea that if I didn't use a deep pore cleanser, then I would have whiteheads and blackheads just all over my face, and that's just not a good time whatsoever. So right now I am using the Tatcha deep pore cleanser, and after that I'm going to be trying out the what is it called? It's let's see. Alright. So this one from Somerville. I've used this before and I quite liked it. A little bit goes a long way, so I just put this on my Clarisonic and work it in. This is definitely a really good one, and both of them kind of have exfoliating beads in them. It helps with daily exfoliation, but it's not overly harsh. And I do have sensitive skin, by the way. And after that, I will use a toner. I like to use the Shiseido cotton pads or cotton sheets to wipe because they're very, very soft and they don't break apart like other ones. And I like to use the Biotherm toner, the one in the greenish bottle. That one's really good. It's a very good price for the amount of it. I don't know if they sell the larger size in North America, but they do in Korea, so I use the bigger size. And after that, I will go in with a serum or an essence. Right now I'm using the Shiseido White Lucent Spot Treatment, Intense Spot Treatment, and I really like that one for my acne scars, plus giving me an overall glow to my face. And I've used that one before in previous years, but it's just stupidly expensive. So after my essence, I go in with an eye cream. Now, I would say eye cream is something new that I've introduced in recent years, and that's mostly because I just become tired a lot faster nowadays, and I also have a bit of crow's feet around here, and as you guys can see, when I smile, this part just kind of scrunches up, so I get quite a few lines. So I do use anti-aging stuff. Right now I'm using the Ohi, what is it called? The one with collagen, baby collagen, intensive eye cream. I think that's what it's called. I'll link the products in the description box a little bit later. But my favorite so far is definitely the Shiseido Glow Revival eye treatment, and that one was sold out, especially in Korea for some reason, so I couldn't get it. So instead I opted for another one that I used to use before, and I still quite like it. It's just I prefer the Shiseido one because it gives me a glow and it kind of just brightens up my eyes when I'm really tired, especially. And it works well with these lines on the side as well. And then after that, I will go in with a night cream, usually only at night. In the daytime, I just go straight into my sunscreen. I don't use another moisturizer in between just because I do have oily skin, so I try to keep my products as light as I can. Definitely drink a lot of green tea. And then after sunscreen in the daytime, I will do my makeup as usual. It's usually just concealer, foundation, eyebrows, and then a little bit of mascara from time to time. This is my work makeup. By no means am I going out anywhere, but yeah, this is it. It's worked for me very well in terms of my skincare routine, and from time to time I will just switch in products or switch out products. There are some other products that I do want to link in the box below. I don't quite remember the full name, but I think it's the Juvena 24-hour detox cream. Again, not quite sure about the name. I'll link it down below. I don't have the product with me right now, but it's this cream that I used to use back in Canada. It's really expensive. It's about $160 for 50 milliliters, 50 grams, and it's great. I only used it at nighttime because, again, it's a little bit thicker, but it really softened up my skin, and it prepared it for anything else that I would do the next morning. It's a great cream, highly recommended for acne skin, or if you have sensitive skin. It has a lot of antioxidants, so I guess it does help with a bit of anti-aging. Not that I am trying to get rid of anything right now, but prevention is key. I do really like that product, but I don't think I really need it right now, but in the future I'll probably go back to it. Other products I wanted to mention were these two over here. These are beauty oils, so I used to use them a lot. I would mix them in with my night creams, about 2 drops or so. This is the Drunk Elephant Virgin Marula Luxury Facial Oil, and the regular size actually lasted me an entire year, and I still didn't finish it. At the end, there was a weird yellow tint, so I kind of just stopped using it. But it's really good. It has a lot of antioxidants. It's supposed to be also antibacterial, so it kind of helps with acne skin as well. It's not really oily, so I really do like it. I do not use it in the morning. This one over here is the Camellia Beauty Oil, and this one I mainly use when it's really dry outside or if I need kind of like a pick-me-up. I know a lot of people like to mix it in with their makeup or wear it underneath makeup. I just can't do it because my skin's too oily overall. But I really like using it at nighttime, and again, this lasts like forever, but these were not cheap. I would say not cheap. So 30 milliliters, this costs around $120 Canadian, and I don't know if I'm including tax or not. And this one is around the same price. I think it was $98 when I bought it, but that's for the 30 milliliters. This is the 15 milliliters, which costs around, I think, $65 if I'm not mistaken, and that was on the Sephora website. So these two things I do highly recommend if you need pick-me-up, and they do not break me out. So beauty oils are kind of good to have to add to your skincare routine overall if you need a little bit more hydration or moisture or whatever it is you're looking for. But definitely do your research. Some oils tend to absorb a little bit better into the skin than other ones. I just prefer to go with The more high-end ones are the ones that were mostly highly rated on Sephora, just because my skin is extremely finicky, so I don't want to mess with things that might potentially break me out or feel a little bit too heavy on my skin, because again, my skin gets clogged very easily, so that means that I have more chances of getting acne, so I just don't want to do that. And the last product I really wanted to talk about was the Blue Tansy Mask by Herbivore. It's an exfoliating mask, purifying mask, and it does tingle a little bit when you first use it, but you leave it on for 20 minutes and your skin is actually very smooth after that and completely calm down. So if you're having red spots or whatever, I tend to use it after, you know, doing extractions or just twice a week to get rid of dead skin, and my skin feels really good the next day. I love that thing, so I kind of restock on it and keep using it over and over again. So yeah, that's my skincare routine. That's what I've been using for the past year or so, or year or two, and it's worked for me now that I'm in my mid-20s. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's very casual. I'm in my room kind of just drinking tea, but I wanted to give you an update, and if you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the box below. I'll put the items in the description box, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.